Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed guests, I have found a new hyperfixation. I've been playing Omori almost exclusively since November. As of recording this video, I have almost 140 hours of playtime. I'm just trying to see everything in this game. I have almost all the trophies. I just got the universally loved trophy. And I've had this thought: if Digimon existed in the world of Omori, what would the 6 friends partners be? Let's start off with Kel. Kel has a happy personality and is really sociable, as he talks to strangers while Sunny is doing part-time jobs. He tries to help others in need, but he sometimes makes rash decisions while doing so. He's loyal to his friends even after X amount of years have passed. This is seen when Kel and Sunny help Badal get his photo album back from Omori. He genuinely loves his friends and wants to help them. On the flip side, Kel sometimes can't read the room and doesn't always understand complex emotions. For these reasons, I think Falcomon would be an excellent partner for Kel. Falcomon's personality would complement Kel's almost perfectly. He's able to read the room better and can understand the complex issues that Kel doesn't understand. With how Kel wants to help and protect his friends, Falcomon would feel Kel's desires, allowing him to evolve into Digimon. As Kel starts to understand more of these complex emotions that people have, that would allow Digimon to evolve into Yatagaramon. Once Kel realizes that he wasn't treating Omori very well either, this would allow for Yatagaramon to evolve into Valdermon. Hiro, he seems to be naturally good at everything. He is warm-hearted and he's the peacemaker of the group. He has a talent for calming people down even though they're in distress. The best example of this is when Omori and Kel make up and he's able to get Omori out of her house. Even though he suffers from depression after losing Mari, he still retains being a reliable guy. Which makes me think of Jokito from Digimon Adventure and Gomamon. Gomamon is very lighthearted and fun-loving, which is something that could be overall beneficial for Hiro. While Hiro does take care of himself, Gomamon could lead Hiro on a better path of healing that's not just repressing it all deep down, making him more focused on the present and opening up to Gomamon about the past. And as these two open up to each other, this will allow Gomamon to evolve into Ikakumon. And with how reliable of a character Hiro is, this will allow Ikakumon to evolve into Zudomon. And when he starts to bring his friends back together, this will allow Zudomon to evolve into Vaikamon. Now on to everybody's favorite problem child, Omori. She is the leader of the scooter gang and wields a nail bat, which is far more dangerous than a steak knife. She adopted this hatred towards her old friends for them moving too quickly from Mari's death. Even years after Mari's death, Omori keeps her hair pink as a memory for when they are gonna dye their hair together. Hostile and short-tempered, she fights her old friends with her fellow hooligan. But as Omori begins to understand that everyone was dealing with the loss of Mari in their own way, she opens up and expresses that she cares about her old friends and wants to make things right. She wanted to find peace, and she only found some semblance of it after reuniting with her old friends. For this reason, I think Meikumon would be an excellent partner for Omori. Yes, this is a Digimon perpetually in the adult form, and we don't really have a child form for Meikumon yet, but it's fine. As Omori is still hostile towards her old friends, Meikumon would fight for her because Meikumon would feel all that hatred towards them. And as that hatred towards her old friends intensifies when she just wants them to leave her alone, Meikumon would dark evolve into Mei Crackmon vicious mode. And as Omori's anger turns into enragement because her old friends weren't there for her when they lost Mari and they just moved on so quickly, Mei Crackmon would evolve into Regulamon. But as she becomes more understanding and opens up to her old friends, realizing her mistakes, Meikumon would evolve into the true form of Mei Crackmon. As she wants to help her friends and right her wrongs, Maycrackmon would evolve into Rizalmon. Before we go to Basil and Sunny, we're gonna try to give Mari a Digimon. The problem with that is she's dead, but we're gonna do it anyways. Before her death, Mari was kind and a gentle individual and plays the sister role with their group of friends. When she appears to Omori in Headspace, she's forgiving towards Sunny and suggests that Sunny should forgive himself. Mari is helpful, at least what we saw in Headspace, and there's no reason to assume that she wouldn't be as helpful in the real world. So what Digimon would be for Mari, since she's dead, but can still help others and have that same kind of warm feeling that Mari had? What if her thoughts would follow her friends in the form of a Digimon? What if evolution wasn't just based off of everyone's bonds with each other, but with Mari as well? Cuddlemon helps Digimon evolve and would guide the friends on their digital journey, just like Mari. As Cuddlemon helps them, they would see Mari in Cuddlemon. Basil, he loves plants and photography. Or at least he did, up until Mari's death and the witness to it. After her death, he stopped taking photography and fell into a deep depression like Sunny. He has a desire to protect Sunny and will go to great lengths to do so, as proven when he suggests to frame Mari's accidental homicide into a... Even years after her death, he still takes care of plants, and there's still some alive from when they hung out at his house more often. Lalamon would be perfect for Basil. Throughout the story, Basil puts a happy front, even though he is massively depressed from Mari's death, but also from Aubrey bullying him, and even going as far as stealing his photo album. Lalamon is a perfect encapsulation of this facade, not only in her child form, but in her adult form as well as Sunflowermon. Basil said that sunflowers always face the sun, and that's how he wants to be. Someone who always sees the bright side of things. Sunflowermon, being a giant sunflower dragon, is a match made in heaven for Basil. As Sunflowermon evolves into the perfect form, that's when Basil's facade starts to unwind. His thoughts are getting the better of him. With the thoughts of what he witnessed and what he did starts to take over, he struggles to keep his something at bay, and Sunflowermon would evolve into Torapiamon. As he and Sunny have their final confrontation, which is not going to take place in Basil's bedroom for the purposes of this video, because that would be too little space. Basil can't keep his something at bay anymore, causing Torapiamon to evolve into Hydramon, a blend of Basil's love for plants and his something. It represents his thoughts that he can't repress anymore. Lastly, our protagonist, Sunny. Despite being extremely shy and quiet, he loves his friends and deeply cares for them. He doesn't think he's good enough and feels guilty for relying on his friends so much. These thoughts worsen after he accidentally kills Mari, putting him in a deep depression. He's afraid of heights and spiders and drowning, which makes sense because he almost drowned once. He has a hyperactive imagination, which leads to the creation of Headspace, and it's where he represses the truth, which leads to the creation of Omori, which is the representation of the guilt and depression Sunny denies. Omori eventually becomes the culmination of trauma and escapism. By the events of the game, Omori is repressing the truth for Sunny and influences Sunny. The goal of Omori is to protect Sunny, and he does so by resetting Headspace constantly. What if instead of Headspace, Sunny's escapism takes shape in another form, a more physical form, Gamamon? In stark contrast to both Sunny and Omori, Gamamon is quite talkative and very high energy. Seeing Gamamon as a creature that needs to be taken care of Sunny would start feeding Gamamon and befriend him. In the game, Sunny conquers his 3 phobias. Maybe in the context of Digimon, he does that with Gamamon. As Sunny tries to overcome his fear of drowning against a Digimon like Octomon, this would prompt Gamamon to evolve into Battle Gamamon. When Sunny conquers his fear of heights, this would allow for Gamamon to evolve into Cos Gamamon and have an edge against a Digimon like Flymon. And when faced with a swarm of Dugokomon, this will allow Gamamon to evolve into Wezen Gamamon. As Sunny and Gamamon face more powerful Digimon, this would eventually force them to use everything that they've learned, and this would allow for Gamamon, in one of his adult forms, to evolve into Kenowisemon. As Sunny seeks escapism less and less, this would allow Kenowisemon to evolve into Seriousmon. But all of these are just hiding the dark truth behind Mari's death. Even throughout the story, the truth is trying to come out in the form of Sunny's something. Sometimes a trigger will happen to bring Sunny out of that escapism for a moment, causing these emotions to flow into Gamamon, thus forcing Gamamon's evolution to take a turn. Gullus Gamamon would protect Sunny for maybe a minute, but would taunt Sunny about the truth of Mari, and thus being the representation of guilt that Omori represented in Headspace. As the truth starts to unwind more, it would make it easier for Gullus Gamamon to evolve into Regulusmon. Pressing more about the truth Sunny is hiding from everyone, and even hinting at the truth to his friends. As Basil's Hydramon challenges Sunny and Gamamon, this would cause Gullus Gamamon to appear and evolve into Arcturusmon. Ultimately, Sunny has to face the truth and battle Arcturusmon with Seriousmon at his side. If Sunny and Seriousmon fail, Arcturusmon consumes Seriousmon and kills Sunny. Should they succeed, however, Seriousmon consumes Arcturusmon and they achieve their final form, Proximeamon. After they succeed, Sunny tells the truth to his friends. But maybe Culemon has one final role. Maybe at the end of it, Mari makes an appearance to all of them through Culemon and tells them all that she forgives Sunny. But is Mari's forgiveness enough for her friends to forgive him too? Or would it just be way too much for them?